If you're ready, let me know. There's a place we can go. Up and over the hill. We just gotta stay still. If you're ready, let me know. When the time's right, we can go to a place we know might just become home. Midnight drive, midnight drive, midnight drive, midnight drive. If you're ready, let me
170 years. That's a long time. 170 years ago today, the first car was still 35 years off. The Wright brothers' first flight, 52. That's 10 years before the start of the American Civil War. Times change, so they say.
The America's Cup. The symphony of sea and sky and sail.
170 sena ilu li qdem trofew fid-dinja tal-isport intrebaħ l-ewwel darba f'tellieqa bil-qluħ madwar il-gżira ta' White fl-Ingilterra. Il-Yacht America kienet elbet lill-Ingliżi f'darhom stess u ħadu t-trofew lura l-Istati Uniti.
I'm sailing a cat. Somebody else is sailing a dog.
What an upset that would be.
Kbar b'veloċità qawwija, din l-America's Cup bħal qatt qabel. Dawn id-dajjes mill-aktar avvanzati u rivoluzzjonari se jagħtu dera totalment ġdida lill-America's Cup.
It's an incredible aura around the America's Cup. And certainly liken it to Formula One on water. And this AC-75 class of boat is phenomenal, really. I mean, it's an absolute weapon.
Is-36 edizzjoni tal-America's Cup se turina dimensjoni ġdida fid-dinja tal-ibburdjar.
When you go off the dock on the AC-75, the day is already packed with pressure. The switch gets turned on pretty quickly. And it will expose weaknesses all the way through the team.
L-ekwipaġġi magħmulin minn 11 raġel se jagħtu l-massimu biex jimbuttaw għal-limitu tagħha.
I think you're going to win the cup, one, if you have a fast boat, and second, if you make one less mistake. No one will be perfect.
Din kompetizzjoni fejn hemm biss rebbieħ wieħed.
That level of competition's so fierce. Only one person gets to win the America's Cup, and that's what we're trying to do.
L-erba' timijiet li jirrappreżentaw 4 nazzjonijiet differenti huma lesti biex jaffaċċaw il-battalja għall-eqdem trofew fid-dinja tal-isport. L-isfidant tar-rekord huwa t-tim Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Insegwu.
You get addicted. And I've been lucky because this will be my 7th cup. I won the cup twice. I went in the final many times, and my next dream is try to win the cup for Italy. The emotion to drink from the old mug is unique and is impossible to describe until you're not there.
Mbagħad hemm Ineos Team UK, it-tim Ingliż li lest jiġġieled tat-tazza minn meta tilifha lura fl-1851.
Yeah, the goal is always bring the cup home. That's our mantra, you know, that's what we've been working for since, 1851, frankly, when we lost it. So it's been a while, but that's still very much the goal, to get the America's Cup back home to British waters. We've got to keep going until the job's done.
Hemm ukoll l-Istati Uniti li se jikkompetu b'American Magic tan-New York Yacht Club.
Tremendously significant milestone on this journey.
The Defender and Luna Rossa and Team Minos, and these are good teams, and so on the day we're going to have our act together. Second place is last place.
Huwa tim wieħed biss li għandu post garantit fil-finali, dan huwa tim difensur tal-AC36 Emirates Team New Zealand.
It's nice to know you're automatically through to the final, but apart from that, nothing much really changes. It's been an amazing part of my career to help Team New Zealand bring the cup back to New Zealand, and it's something that we're now trying to keep it in.
L-America's Cup dejjem kienet kompetizzjoni ta' diżinn kif ukoll ta' tbaħħir fejn l-innovazzjoni ma tieqaf qatt.
Absolutely, the impossible is possible.
Kienet is-sena 2012 fejn waqt it-taħriġ qabel l-34 edizzjoni tal-America's Cup meta Team New Zealand skoprew u faxxinaw ruhom bil-foiling.
Thinking back to the beginning of 2012, one crazy idea that the team had was that we needed to lift this AC72 catamaran out of the water, something that had never ever been seen before in the America's Cup history.
And we're on our way, ripping downwind, both boats up on the foils. What an amazing start to this first race.
Basically, we got on the water, we didn't have any sails, we towed the boat with a ski boat. We learnt many, many lessons, both good and bad.
Computer.
And after a couple of weeks of tuning and dialing in, and then some more foils built over the next couple of months, we eventually got to the stage where we could actually tow the boat and it would pop out of the water and fly stably. So like the hull sort of didn't want to fly and then drop quite as quickly as previous. Over. It was a pretty special feeling knowing that you were pioneering absolutely new ground and were part of such a special period of America's Cup history in the making, because ultimately we could see as a group that foiling was absolutely the future of the America's Cup.
Minn dak il-bidu tantum li rajna tħul tal-foiling catamarans li paxxew tant nies fir-regattas tal-America's Cup f'San Francisco kif ukoll f'Bermuda. Iżda minn dak iż-żmien l-hawn l-AC75 miss livell ieħor. Dawn id-dajjes huma maħdumin mill-aqwa baħrin tad-dinja li ħafna minnhom huma medalisti Olimpiċi. L-ekwipaġġ huma magħmula minn 11 raġel u jinkludu helmsman, sail trimmer, flight controller u 8 grinders. Il-grinders jipproduċu l-enerġija idrawlika meħtieġa biex jitħaddmu sail system u kapaċi jiġġeneraw aktar enerġija b'dirajhom mill-enerġija li jiġġeneraw ħafna sprinters u ċiklisti ta' klassi dinjija b'riġlejhom. Il-grinders huma l-engine room u l-AC75 hija l-iktar monohull sofistikata li qatt inbniet.
The principles which allow an AC75 yacht to foil are basically the same principles that allows an aeroplane to stay in the air. So we've got an airfoil section on the foils, which is roughly the same cross-sectional shape as an aircraft wing, and the flow over the top of those foils is faster than the flow underneath due to the geometry of the section shape. That creates more pressure underneath, which lifts the 7.5 tons of the yacht and her crew.
L-AC75 huwa kunċett rivoluzzjonarju. Ġewwa d-dajsa nsibu foil can system li hija teknoloġija ġdida f'Jamanta. Din is-sistema ta' hydraulic immexxija mill-batteriji li tforni l-enerġija biex terfa' u tbaxxi l-ġwienaħ tal-ġemp jew kif huma magħrufin il-foil can toms. Dan il-proċess jirrikjedi ħafna enerġija peress li dawn l-ohms huma tqal immens. Meta d-dajsa tittakja, il-foil can system tiġi attivata billi tniżel foil can tom fl-ilma u l-oħra titla' u bekk id-dajsa żomm il-bilanċ.
It's pretty cool to see everything working. It's pretty impressive. impressive to see that thing, like 4-meter arm and 1 ton at the end, going up and down that fast.
The scale for sure is something that people have no idea about. They will realize when they will really see it. It's certainly impressive.
It's all about going big and going fast, so I think it's a good thing.
Uħut mill-partijiet tad-dajsa bħal l-arblu, ir-rigging u l-hydraulics huma kollha standards l-istess fuq kull dajsa, imma hemm ħafna oqsma li d-diżenjaturi jistgħu jesperimentaw fuqhom biex ikomplu saħħu l-vantaġġ fuq il-kompetituri l-oħra. Invenzjoni ġdida hija twin skin mainsail fejn dawn il-luħ doppji flimkien mal-ispa jiġġeneraw l-enerġija li l-AC-75 teħtieġ biex tiffolja.
A sail is effectively a wing that stands vertically. So instead of just a single mainsail that a conventional yacht has, we've got a twin or double-skinned mainsail, a D section at the front with the 2 skins coming aft, which gives a really efficient aerodynamic section, much the same as an aircraft wing.
L-iżvilupp ta' kunċett rivoluzzjonarju bħal dan ma kienx wieħed faċli, sempliċement meta taħseb li kellhom jiżviluppaw foil arm li seta' tifla ħadd-tobija enormi tul it-tiġrija kollha.
These AC-75 are absolutely extreme machines. They develop and they deploy a huge amount of loads. If you imagine, usually a normal car weighs around 1,000 kilograms. Here we are testing this board with the equivalent of 20 cars, and this arm is attached inside the boat in a space that is just 600 millimeters. So in 0.6 of a meter, this arm needs to react and withstand the equivalent load of 20 cars.
At maximum working load, target on the line 13.5 tons going up.
This one, that is the last test, is the one-off, one way, no way back.
1.5.
We start to have some micro-cracking happening on the way up, but way over the 2.1 times that was the expected minimum braking.
And so the bottom line is, we're good to go now?
We're good to go. Yeah, we got an arm. Yeah, we're looking forward to see the AC-75 on the water now.
And I had a dream that someday I would just fly away. And I always knew I couldn't stay. So I had a dream that I'd just fly away. I've been on my own for a minute.
Now let's take you on board Mr. T.O.M. Sopwith's Endeavour. The amateur crew are hoisting sail for a tryout in American waters.
Is it me? Is it you? Is it fear? Standing on the line.
L-AC-75 hija rivoluzzjonarja immens meta tiġi komparata mad dajjes tar-regattas tal-passat. Ovvjament l-avvanzi kif ukoll l-innovazzjoni jiswew ħafna flus. Iżda din ir-regatta dejjem sabet is-sapport ta' nies kbar fin-negozju pas-sit ta' Ineos Team UK. Dan in-negozjant biljonarju Sir Jim Ratcliffe qed jittama li Ineos Team UK jista' jirbaħ it-tazza għall-ewwel darba mit-tellieqa inawgurali li saret fl-1851, eżattament 170 sena ilu. Fit-tmum ta' din id-dajsa nsibu lil Sir Ben Ainslie, wieħed mill-aqwa baħħara tad-dinja.
I mean, you have to love what you're doing. If you don't, then you won't have that motivation and that drive that's required to be successful at this level. So no, when I look at those guys, all of them are passionate about sport and the America's Cup and the team being successful. That's what you want. You know, everybody's here with that same will to win, and that's what you want, you know, that fighting spirit.
American Magic ukoll qed taspira tirbaħ l-America's Cup, iżda nistennew u naraw jekk l-istorja se tirrepeti ruħha. In-New York Yacht Club żammet din it-tazza għal 132 sena bl-itwal sensiela ta' rebħiet fl-istorja. Bl-għajnuna ta' tlieta mill-aktar sinjuri fl-Istati Uniti, Hab Ford, Doug DeVos u Roger Pinsky qed jittamaw li jġibu t-tazza lura f'pajjiżhom.
For me personally, it's been a 22-year career in chasing it. Well, I think at the end of it, you walk into a room full of sailors, and there are guys that have won the Cup and there are guys that have not. So I think you want to be on the side of the room that those are the guys that have won. Is winning the Prada Cup good enough? It's part of the process. When we won the Louis Vuitton Cup in 2007, I went up and my family was standing right there, and my wife looked at me. She goes, "This is not what we came here for." And she's right. This is very much of a similar situation. It's part of the pathway to the America's Cup. When you walk into the foyer of the New York Yacht Club, and there's that table with the light beaming down that is the void of the America's Cup, it's only replaced by one thing.
Mbagħad hemm l-Official Challenger, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
When you explain to people America's Cup is actually the oldest trophy in sport, and most of the people, they don't even know that, and it's hard to believe, but if it's still here after more than 100 years, there is something cool behind it.
Patrizio Bertelli li mexxi d-ditta Taljana tal-moda Prada ilu jipprova jirba' din it-tazza mill-1997. Matul is-snin u flimkien mat-timijiet tiegħu dejjem ħallew impatt imma qatt ma rnexxielhom jirfgħu dan it-trofew. L-iskipper Max Serena qed jittama li ser nixxielu jagħmel dan. Nisimgħu.
I mean, I won the cup twice. I did 7 campaigns. The only thing I'm missing is to win the cup with an Italian team and with Luna Rossa. And I will never thank enough Mr. Bertelli and Luna Rossa for the opportunity they gave me. It will be a closed loop, you close a circle. At the moment, I'm nothing. I won with another team, which is great, but to be real and to be a real win, I want to win with Luna Rossa.
Kull regata tal-America's Cup tkun mimlija tama u ħolm mit-timijiet kollha, iżda sfortunatament jista' jkun hemm rebbieħ wieħed biss. Emirates Team New Zealand jibqa' dejjem avversarju formidabbli għal kwalunkwe sfidant u s-suċċess tagħhom s'issa hija evidenti li tiġi wara ħafna sagrifiċċji.
I think that's something that's been incredibly exciting about this edition of the race, trying to really take what we've learned and create a boat that just pushes the boundaries that much further. And at the end of the day, you've got to go out there and put down a good performance and actually win the thing. Yeah, well, personally, I think they're pretty incredible. I was obviously involved early days with both the Challenger record and ourselves, trying to come up with concepts, and it's something that we kind of came up with this. They really wanted a monohull, and we really wanted it to be high performance. So we've kind of ended up in a really good place, I feel.
I think no one was expected to have such a fast boat. It's probably the most exciting boat I never been involved with. They are amazing. They are a cool machine. I think they're probably more complex than a Formula One car.
The boat's incredible. The boat is an engineering marvel. It's most impressive upwind and 18 or 19 knots of wind speed, and the ability to sail double the wind speed in boat speed. I mean, it is truly an impressive piece of kit.
We're pushing hard on the downwind legs in particular. The boat's on a bit of a knife edge, really, because of just the geometry of the foils and the side forces that we get with the rig. There's been some pretty impressive wipeouts so far, and we're really scratching the surface on the performance of these boats, so I'd expect more to come.
Dawn id-dajjes jixbħu lill-Formula 1 iżda fuq l-ilma. Huma letteralment iddiżinjati biex jtiru u grazzi għall-ekwipaġġi tagħhom jilħuqu veloċitajiet ta' 50 knot li huma l-ekwivalenti għal 100 km fis-siegħa.
If you're driving down the motorway at 100k an hour with your head out the window, you get a pretty good feel for the amount of air, coming over these boats, and always incredible to think a boat can be going that quick.
Is when you are on board, the boat is so quiet, you don't have the feeling of going so fast through the water because you literally fly above the water.
More people will be on top Everest this year than will sail on an AC-75. The two are very similar. There's a select group of sailors that have the capabilities to race one of these boats properly.
mean, it's a real privilege, frankly, to be able to sail on one of them. When you're going downwind at, 40, 45 knots and you're on the edge, it's a big piece of kit to be at those sorts of speeds. When you do wipe out, you know about it. So it's a challenge, but an incredible amount of fun. And you've got to really be on your game to sail these boats to the limit.
Kull tim partiċipant seta' jibni żewġ dajjes għal din ir-regatta u l-ewwel li wasal f'New Zealand biex inedi t-tieni dajsa tiegħu kien American Magic.
I christen thee Patriot. May God bless this yacht and all who sail her.
Fit-tmexxija tal-jott insibu l-Dean Barker, ex-skipper ta' Emirates Team New Zealand.
He's an incredibly gifted sailor. On the water, when the competitor comes out, he is a good competitor. He's a great competitor, and that's exactly what we need. But we need the flat line as well, and he provides both of that. So his leadership here has been invaluable, really, for the development of our team.
Il-port ta' Auckland u l-ilmijiet ta' madwar għandhom ħafna memorja l Barker hekk kif hu ddefenda t-titlu tal-America's Cup għal Team New Zealand lura fis-sena 2000.
The boats are very, very cool. They go fast. They're pretty manoeuvrable. I think the racing will be great. We know we've got to keep getting faster because it's just the nature of these boats and this type of development sailing where what's good enough today won't be good enough tomorrow, and we have to develop in all areas.
If you're ready, let me know.
Wara Emirates Team New Zealand rajna tnedija ta' Brittanja, l-AC-75 ta' Ineos Team UK.
For us, the interesting thing about the America's Cup is it started in England around the Isle of Wight 170 years ago. We've never won it. So that's the challenge for us, is to try and get that cup back home.
170 years of expectation.
Yeah, 170 years of hurt.
Ben Ainsley jibqa' konfidenti li Brittanja flimkien miegħu u mal-ekwipaġġ jistgħu jirbħu dan it-trofew.
I'm biased, of course I'm biased, but I think it's the best looking boat I've ever seen. And we say it looks like a rocket. Hopefully it sails like a rocket, and it's going to need to beat these other teams and to beat the Kiwis on home waters. There needs to be something special.
Wara Ineos Team UK naraw li Luna Rossa inedu d-dajsa tagħhom. Insegwu.
Well, luckily my wife, she smashed it. I teach her quite a lot in the last few days. It was a pretty emotional moment for me. You need to smash the boat. There is any other way to christen the boat. The only way is to smash the boat, but it's tradition. You don't put so much effort just to take part in an event. So obviously our goal is to win the cup. We will do everything we can.
Dan it-tim ukoll dar għall-helmsman Awstraljan bl-isem ta' Jimmy Spittle. Għal Jimmy din se tkun is-seba' America's Cup.
But yeah, it's a real tough group here, no one's lacking anything. Everyone's got the money, the technology, the resource. There's no excuses. It's all going to come down to, the second boats. How quickly we can get on the water, how quickly we can get these boats operating at 100%, and who does the best job developing from now on. So it'll be a good series.
L-aħħar li żvelaw l-AC-75 tagħhom kienu Emirates Team New Zealand. Bħal dejjem dawn ma ddiżappuntawx. Id-difensuri għandhom reputazzjoni mill-aqwa fejn titħol l-innovazzjni kif ukoll il-kreattività fid-disinn.
I named this boat Tere Hutai. May God bless her and all who sail on her.
Seeing it in the water now, you just look at it and you go, well, it's a spaceship, it's not a boat. We're going to be pushing this boat into places that have never been pushed before.
Each piece of boat one has been developed into boat two. Yeah, I think in the challenges that we're seeing, with our intel watching them, that they're racing fairly similar speeds. So it doesn't appear at this point that anyone's just breaking out. Now, that ultimately will happen. Someone will break out because someone always does.
We're super excited to get out there. It's something we haven't sailed for 5 weeks now in these boats, and we're watching all the challenges buzzing around the harbour. So, it's going to be a pretty exciting day to get out there tomorrow and actually see what it can do.
Għal dawk li segwew nhar il-ħamis li għadda kif ukoll tul il-weekend kollu, rajna l-erba' timijiet jiksbu l-ewwel ċans tagħhom li jikkompetu fil-Prada America's Cup World Series kif ukoll il-Prada Christmas Race. Ix-xahar id-dieħel it-tensjoni tiżdied bit-timijiet jikkompetu fil-Prada Cup.
Second place is last place. George Herbert Walker Bush.
170 years of her who've never won the America's Cup. It's the only sporting trophy Britain's never won. So of course there's huge pressure and huge expectation.
We know New Zealand pretty well. So to win, you need to do better than them. But it's going to be tough.
There's nothing wrong with being a favourite, but at the end of the day, you've got to go out there and put down a good performance and, actually win the thing.
If you're ready, let me know.
Komplu segwu nofs fil-ġimgħat li ġejjin għal aktar informazzjoni dwar l-America's Cup.
If you're ready, let me know. When the time